right around the time of 9/11. And I'd like to do it for you. It's called I've Been Called Home. Don't cry, my friends, that I am gone, for I am not alone. I stood my watch and did my best, and now I've been called home. I must admit, it went too fast, my earthly time and grade. So I hope and pray in some small way a better world I've made. For remember what our DI said as we climbed those rocky mountains. It's not who you are in life, but what you do that counts. And so we chose a tougher road. The few, the proud, the core, and earned the pride and name Marine for now and evermore. So do not weep for me, good friends, I'm where I want to be. Surrounded by a few good men, my soul and spirit free. For now I get to meet them all, the heroes of our corps. O'Bannon, Puller, Bassalone, Foss, Shoup, and more, Butler, Daly, Vandergrift. The names go on and on. Who fell at spots like Bellow Wood, Iwo Jima, and Khe Sanh. Those at the Chosin Reservoir and Hagaroo Reef. And I'm standing next to them, sir, just little old me. For now I walk among the men who kept our country free and gave all of their tomorrows to preserve our liberty.
This Marine devotedly served our nation. We at Southwest Airlines join you in expressing our sincere condolences to the family of this patriot.
Burma, Lebanon, Chapultepec, or Belfort. For the Marines who fell in the Argonne or died on the Saipan shore. But the duty roster just came round, and how lucky can I get? For all the posts I've ever stood, surely this is the best one yet. For you see, it says at 0400, even though that's late, I get to stand the morning watch just outside the gates. So look for me when your time comes. You'll find me standing tall, stored away in blues and spit-shine shoes, awaiting our CO's call. And remember me when you look up and see a clear blue sky. We'll see each other again, my friends. God bless. Semper Fi.
Let us pray. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God, as we mourn the loss of our loved one, we ask you to cover his family and friends with your wings of love. Give them courage so that they can stand before us and share the fond memories they have with Anthony. Creator, it has been such a big blow to his family, the community, and friends. But you are their strength and strong tower.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
All you Marines that are here, it means a lot. You know, Anthony's my brother, but he would have loved to see all of his brothers here right now. A lot of you guys knew of the relationship Anthony and I had. loved him to absolute death. But, you know, we all knew how great of a man he was. But I wanted to share a couple stories that you guys haven't had a problem. Many of you probably haven't heard. Mom, you'll love some of these. She never said anything. She's fine. A lot of you guys knew Anthony when he was in high school and as an adult and how he was. Everyone was a real tough guy. But any of you guys who knew him from the ages 4, 5, 6, 7, he was the sweetest boy. He defended anybody, anyone that he loved. And there was this one time, for you St. Christian people, if there's any St. Christian folks here, the school had let out, and I was out, we were playing basketball or something, and this kid named Jack Fedora, Jack says, "Oh my God, William!" And I'm like, and I look, and Anthony, little 6-year-old Anthony, has this kid by his shirt, basketball bouncing his head off. And if you know Anthony, you're like, so I'm like sitting there, jaw on the floor, I'm like, oh my God. 2 counselor people came, yanked them apart, threw them in timeout. Those of you guys went to St. Pete Christian, you couldn't talk to the people in timeout. They were to be by themselves. So I go, and I'm like, I gotta ask him what happened. So I try to like sneak over there, like not looking at him, just kind of like acting like I was messing with my backpack. And I was like, Anthony, what happened? What happened? And he goes, his eyes started to well up, and he said, "This boy said, Mom, he looks like Michael Jackson." He said, "Mom, he looks like Michael Jackson." And I'm like, and I was like 8. I didn't know who that was, but I knew it wasn't good. And he goes, he looks at me, and he's like, "William, isn't he a football player?"
Anthony always stood out from the rest, and as many of you probably know, that's not the best idea in boot camp. So the drill instructors were pretty fond of him, and he got the full boot camp experience. Whether it was him getting a little PT'd extra every day for saying something a little less than smart, stealing peanut butter from the chow hall and getting the nickname Peanut Butter, or even when he got told to check how deep a puddle was, and without any hesitation, Anthony dove into the puddle, and our drill instructor just astonished. He's like, "I didn't actually mean it." But Anthony was one hell of a Marine and a protector. Another fond memory of mine, I got into a little scuffle about a week out from graduating. The little scuffle turned into me getting teamed up on by about 7 other Marines. I guess they had some built-up anger for me, and out of all the friends I thought I had made in boot camp, through the punches, all I see is one man coming to my aid, and it's Anthony, ripping guys off, punching them back, and I'm just like, that's my brother. And regardless of a slight black eye, broken glasses, I was so happy to see the bond me and Anthony had created.
I fear the still waters of peace. I know of its morality, the anxiety of silence. I long for the storm in the distant horizons. I wrap myself with the familiar blanket of chaos. I fear the tranquility when time stands still, the breeze rustling, the smiles on the faces of the ignorant. The true enemy isn't the enemy itself, it's the anticipation. Not that I love conflict, but hate the peace that never lasts.
When there's no enemy within, there's no enemy outside that can do you no harm. I wish you no harm and no flag of my enemy. You're of my brother's blood, and I shall carry you through the gates of Valhalla to feast with the valiant. You are of a warrior's heart, and may the sun warm your armor as you find peace, as we bury the swords of our dead. Have faith that our paths will meet again on the road to victory. We shall tip our visors and cheer our goblets in remembrance. Until then, may good fortune pave your path, and in the end, may the Valkyrie deliver us.
First time I ever really talked with Anthony, I actually thought he was a psychopath. Two reasons. He used to tell me that he would leave his house completely unlocked, hoping someone would come in. Which I always thought was a weird idea.
I can say, as a kid, Anthony was out of all of us, was both the biggest, scariest, and goofiest kid out of all of us. I remember seeing this kid charging at you was the most terrifying police young people I've ever seen. It was impossible to be anything but happy around Anthony. I remember one time we were out playing soccer at the park, all four of us, and I was holding a root beer soda, just drinking it, and Anthony punted the soccer ball so hard it hit me and literally crushed the soda can, spraying all of us with root beer. And the first thing that went through my head as I'm sitting there sticky and drenching wet was just, I'm gonna tackle this kid. But before I even got the chance, Anthony ran up, grabbed me in a big bear hug, and said, "I'm so sorry, man, I'm so sorry." It was impossible to be mad around him, ever.
You know, being under him for that year and that first deployment, the main thing I learned from him was everything that he did, he went hard. Like, he wanted to be the best. He, you know, even when he tried to skate and he really didn't want to do it, like, he physically couldn't. Like, he did the best. And like, when he would start, he would just end up putting out, you know? And, you know, he had a lot of guys in infantry, they don't, you know, they just go to work and, you know, they get cut, and that's it. But not Anthony. Anthony, you know, went to work, he got a job, he was in school, going to college, you know, saving up for a car, you know, he brought his car first, talked about his car for months, he got back from deployment, he brings it to my house, he's like, you know, Tanya's there, you know, he's like, "You like that, huh? You like that, huh? Right? You know, like, yeah, that's nice, man. That's you. I like that." And he's like, "Yeah, you're so excited about it." And you know, he's just an example of, like, you know, doing the best at everything you do and never settling for less. You know, like, that's something I always take from him, because, you know, he just studied the most. He was just good at everything. Fast, good ground fight. Like, I challenge every time a ground fighter. My God say I lost. I didn't get tabbed. I don't think I lost, but you know, but I'll take that, because that's him. He was the best. Like, you know?
And he was just, like, down to the core, the kindest person I think I've ever met in my life. So even going around with all the vulgarness that Anthony is and all the things he said, it's great hearing these stories, because he was the same amount of, like, respect to everybody ever met. So actually, like, looking at his junior Marines and forcing that downwards, like, he passed on great, like, lineage and great traits to people. And when I got the news that he was no longer with us, you know, I didn't believe it, because nobody, I think, in this room would think Anthony would be like in that predicament. He was a motard, if you could say. He loved the 240. I think one of the biggest memories I have was that I hate cleaning weapons, like majority of Marines, and he would just take it from you. Mm-hmm. He knew the ins and outs of that weapon system, and he loved it. He carried it around like it was a prized dog. And I miss him every day. I would sit there at the bottom of the well deck radar and place him on watch, and he'd be sitting there just going. He made a song to actually, like, go over specifics about his weapon. And I'm just like, you got the amount of dedication and love for something. You found your niche just to sit here and be, like, creative enough. Yes, he was the poop poet, and yes, I indulged quite a few times in those poetries. But honestly, there's nobody that I've ever met like Anthony.
My name is Captain James Van Tok. I've met Sergeant Anthony briefly. One evening I was on 275 highway, and my Jeep had just lost power. So came out of my Jeep in the evening time and had a hood up, and with my injuries, I wasn't able to see too good of the wiring because I didn't have a light on me. And the vehicle pulls up behind me, and very broad-shouldered gentleman, and he said, "What can I do for you, sir?" I said, "Well, if you can help me with a light, I'll appreciate it." And didn't know he called me sir, didn't know why, but then he said, "Well, so your plates in the back of your Jeep, I had Purple Heart plates," and he told me he serves in the Marine Corps. And with the help of the light, he found out and tracked it down that one of my cables to my battery had loosened up and I lost power. And if I didn't have it with me that evening time, as you hear some stories, people pull off to the side of the road, police officers, civilians, that unfortunately didn't get hit by another vehicle. So I want to thank Sergeant Anthony for saving my life, and I'm forever in debt to you. Thank you.
The halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine.